2021 started off rocky, trouble-bound, and light, if not barren, for the brand new Xbox Series S and X consoles at launch. Halo Infinite was promised and set into the distant end of the year, and with just a couple smaller, mediocre rated games by fan standards, the new Xbox generation was looking bleak, with their biggest exclusives coming out a year or 3 years down the road. The PS5 started 2021 with a promise and a couple of big games on the horizon for the launch year, but most big games on both platforms delayed. But no one expected that things would fall apart and one of gaming's biggest comebacks would happen. And it happened fast. This is Colteastwood. Welcome back to the channel. Now, I'm going to forewarn you, if you've picked one side of which console you like, this video might upset you. So we're going to be using some objective information from OpenCritic. And if you're okay with that, show your support by hitting the like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to see more productions like this. And let's see how 2021 looks for Xbox and PlayStation so far. The Xbox Series and PS5 consoles launched at the end of 2020 and came in fairly hot with software and features not quite ready, undercooked, and some things just plain missing. Multi-plat games ran better on the less powerful PS5, but with a more familiar dev kit. Consoles were also trading wins between cross-gen games, and back-compat having a strong advantage for Xbox over the PS5. Perception is everything, and with Xbox sitting out half of the last generation for power and first-party exclusives, it was assumed that Xbox had everything to prove and wasn't capable of impressing fans or critics. One measuring device for the quality of games is Metacritic or OpenCritic. We'll be using OpenCritic to illustrate how the reception flipped from PlayStation to the Xbox in the majority of the launch year 2021. Xbox started off 2021 with a timed exclusive from Bloober Studios, the split-screen afterworld paranormal interactive game, The Medium. The Medium impressed some critics with its haunting visuals, concept, and duality in gameplay through dimensions. Not the ideal game to start the year off for Xbox, with little in traditional gameplay and 30 FPS on the highly capable Xbox Series X. The Medium got a 75 on OpenCritic. Destruction AllStars was the opening offering for the PS5 in 2021, and it was a full-priced, even $70 game that was quickly moved to PlayStation Plus members for free at launch. Striking, colorful visuals and fast, snappy gameplay of Rocket League meets Twisted Metal, but it did not land with fans. OpenCritic gave Destruction AllStars a 62. Death's Door is a surprise hit for Xbox and a true Game of the Year contender with challenging gameplay, haunting, moody visuals, and watercolor atmosphere-inspired level and story design. The little crow with determination to match are those who dare to take on this Metroidvania instant hit. Saw a small game like Death's Door become an exclusive for Xbox not to be missed. An OpenCritic score of 88. Returnal is Housemarque's first foray into AAA game development, and it has paid off big time for the small growing studio and for the PS5 as an exclusive. A roguelite with incredible visuals and alien meets Promethean themes, all mixed with Groundhog Day in space. Returnal was hit with fans keen to challenging gameplay. Returnal got an 86 on OpenCritic. Neon Giant delivered a surprising twin-stick shooter that came out with technical issues, but after post-launch patch, the Ascent on Xbox was absolutely dripping with cyberpunk vibes that did the genre better service than CD Projekt Red. The visuals, graphics, and attention to detail, married with some of the best audio we saw all year up to that point, makes the Ascent an incredible game, but on OpenCritic it scored a 73. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart for the PS5 is arguably one of the most visually stunning games in 2021 this far, and with its perfectly tuned combat and creatively outrageous weapons and traversal, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is still another Ratchet game with a new twist: Dimensions. The game offers incredible vistas and backdrops and some of the busiest combat locations you'll see in any game, and it got an impressive 88 on OpenCritic. Microsoft Flight Simulator is a big release on console, and this full next-generation exclusive does several things like no other game or console can do, with full access to the entire planet. With dozens of true-to-life aircrafts, realistic simulation, landing and exploration challenges for scoring and achievements, Flight Simulator is surprisingly fun, satisfying, and challenging, and you can see why. It's highly rated, a 91 on OpenCritic. Psychonauts 2 is a multiplat but representative from Xbox Game Studios with nearly 3 years of support from Xbox. The adventure through minds and psyche with Raz and his team is truly an unforgettable experience with some of the most varied and eye-popping visuals you'll see from a game made by such a small team as Double Fine. Psychonauts 2 is really a cult classic, but resonated with gaming fans this summer and scored an excellent 89 on OpenCritic. A very small game that came exclusive to the Xbox console is Art of Rally, a colorful, unconventional racing game that captures the wonder of the 70s and 80s rallycross that looks like it was painted in watercolor with splashes of pink, light blues, and oranges. This game captures the love and passion behind rally racing with realistic audio and arcade isometric graphics. Art of Rally got an 82 on OpenCritic. The summer was slow for PlayStation for exclusives after Ratchet and Clank and Returnal, and Xbox had yet another exclusive in the Artful Escape. This is a love letter to musicians, artists, and creators, an inspired story of a musician finding himself, and it takes your character across the entire galaxy in a musical alien landscape that celebrates the guitar showmanship and playing for an audience. The Artful Escape is truly something special, and for me personally, it is one of the greatest games I played in a long time. On OpenCritic, The Artful Escape scored an 80. PlayStation had one more game for 2021, and ironically it comes from the Xbox Game Studio acquisition, Arcane Lion in Deathloop. This is a first-person shooter with a time loop and puzzles, making it very unique and creative that shows the talent behind the studio that is now under the Xbox umbrella. Deathloop has been very well received and is a showcase that Xbox Game Studios has made some great decisions that are already starting to pan out, even if it is for the PS5 in 2021. Deathloop scored an 88 on OpenCritic. The Xbox offered 6 exclusives in 2021 this far, Psychonauts not included since it's a multiplat. With 6 games, the Xbox got an aggregate score of 81.5 overall. The PlayStation offered 4 exclusives and scored an 81, with a very slight 0.5 advantage for Xbox that offered 2 more games than the PlayStation. The year is not over for PlayStation and Xbox exclusives, and in fact next week, Kena Bridge of Spirits will release, and we fully expect it to score and be received very well. Also, Xbox has about 4 or 5 more exclusives to come in the end of 2021 with the Gunk, Crossfire X, Forza Horizon 5, which will probably be the highest rated game on the list, and the questionable but promising Halo Infinite in December. But the console platform is more than just the games. There are many things that have brought the Xbox out ahead of the competition, like crossplay, cross-generation upgrades for free, and Game Pass, which all of these things have won over the gaming media, putting Xbox on a pedestal while they ask PlayStation to do better. Right now, the $70 price tag on PS5 games and the $10 upgrade for next-generation games on the PS5 has upset gaming fans and the games industry that expects the popular PlayStation platform to do right by their fans and allow them to upgrade games for free like the Xbox and PC have been doing for many, many years. Add to this, since we've talked so much about games, is that the industry and gaming community has started to question the diversity and variety of games on the PlayStation 5. No doubt the PlayStation is delivering some of the best AAA cinematic games, but outside of those are many partnered timed exclusives. The PlayStation brand doesn't really offer the same breadth and scope of games that the Xbox can offer, with 2 times more studios, with RPGs, simulation games, the best shooters with id, machine games and 343, and a wide variety of other genres coming exclusive from Xbox Game Studios. Overall, the Xbox has pulled ahead, been brought into the spotlight alongside the very popular and well-beloved PlayStation. This is a comeback that very few saw outside of those that have been watching Xbox's moves with Game Pass and the studio acquisitions they made over the years. The value proposition that Xbox offers is far and away better than what PlayStation is offering their fans, and the gaming community has taken notice. With a more affordable console and a most powerful console and more ways to play all of your games, and with the lineup coming from Xbox at the end of the year, and next year, it looks like Xbox may have more games than the PlayStation with higher ratings. This is definitely something we didn't see coming. This is Colteastwood. Thank you so much for checking out this long video. I know there was a lot to cover, but looking at this year, some people are wondering, was 2021 a good year for gaming? I think we can see it's been really good, and there's a lot more to come. Having a chance to look at how these games reviewed, and almost all of these I've played, except for Deathloop, which I'm picking up this week. It has been a really enjoyable year, and I've found myself playing more diverse games. If you end up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new content. And if you want to further continue the conversation, follow me on Twitter at Colteastwood, or join the channel membership if you want to get early access to videos. If you want to see more detailed discussions of what's going on in gaming, check out the XNC podcast. That is usually live every Monday. This week is a little different. I'll have news coming out for that very soon. But I want to know what you think about these games. Which of this list was your favorite this year? Or do you think whatever could be game of the year hasn't come out yet? But as long as we're having a constructive conversation and trying to keep it very civil, I always ask, please, be nice.